In one of your videos you mentioned about the power that creates order from chaos but can also create chaos from pathological order. Can you expand and explain the latter one? Well, the logos, that's the human capacity for consciousness and communication and awareness, and I think that it's actually one of the fundamental prerequisites for being itself, right? Which is one of the things that makes me different from a standard materialist. I don't believe that there can be being without consciousness, and so I think of consciousness as a primary element of reality. It's an irreducible element of reality, something like that. A prerequisite for reality. That's another way of thinking about it, and that's the logos essentially. And it's respect for the logos, I would say, that's the deepest doctrine of the biblical stories. Now, what does the logos do? Well, you can see this in Christ's story, most particularly. So Christ is often presented as a social revolutionary, cast, I suppose, in the same mold as Moses. Moses opposed the Egyptian tyranny, like Christ opposed the tyranny of the Pharisees and the scribes. And Moses produced chaos as a consequence of opposing the tyranny, right? First chaos was the crossing of the water, and Moses was a master of water, and that's the same symbolically as being a master of chaos. But after he freed the Hebrews from the Egyptian tyranny, well, they entered a period that was 40 years long, so the story goes, of almost complete chaos, right? Abandonment in a desert, tremendous moral confusion, lack of direction and purpose. And so sometimes the hero is the person who makes order out of chaos, but sometimes the hero is the person who makes intermediary chaos out of an order that's become too tyrannical. And so it's best to think of the logos as the force that keeps order and chaos in balance rather than generating order out of chaos or chaos out of order, because the logos operates to do one of those two things depending on the situation. And so it's frequently generating order out of chaos because there's plenty of chaos, but there's also plenty of tyranny, in which case the hero or the person who embodies the logos is struggling to destroy the tyrannical king and replace him with someone that's more that's playing a more reciprocal and properly negotiated game.